I see how it is, Jamie. I see how it works. So Noel wants to know if I can show you the snake and lizard dance that Jamie was talking about this morning. Must have been a quiet drive this morning. It's obviously Jamie is asking for trouble and wants me to now dance the dance. But I'm afraid to tell you, I think that dance can only be replicated when there is a snake that is chasing a lizard that's imminently about to go up your trousers and where you're wearing long pants, because it is not very easy to replicate the movements that we were doing that day. And I say we because what Jamie might not have mentioned is that it was Jimmy too. And the two of us were both having to dodge and duck and dive and weave. It was a little bit like out of a dodgeball game, really, except that it was around our feet. And for those of you who, I don't know how much of the story Jamie told, but essentially we took down the tent. And don't worry, for those of you that are stressing, the tent will be put back up this week. It's just to level out the floor again before somebody dies a horrible death by falling over in the tent or breaking an ankle or something like that. So we know our camops have weak feet, and so we don't want them to break their ankles in the tent. And it was getting a little bit hazardous. We did a SABC little thing the other day, James, myself, and Tristan, and all three of us almost fell off our chairs at numerous points during that course of that sort of interview. So we needed to sort that out ASAP. And the tent's been up for 3 years and really, needs a bit of TLC. So that's why it's down, but it'll be back up in the next week and back up and running. Anyway, besides that, so we took down the tent and we were busy kind of sitting there, and I was busy trying to level the floor from where the tent had been. So I was raking sand into the furrows, and then we will compact it. And so I was busy doing that, and I was minding my own business. I was very under the weather that day. It was the day I did bushwalk, and I was not in good shape at all. It was a tough walk to do and didn't really feel myself at all. So raking the floor was the last thing I felt like doing, but one needs to do work at times, and so I was busy doing that, minding my own business. Everyone was pottering about, fiddling and packing and doing their thing, and a side-striped skink ran past me, as what they do when you've packed away a tent. And a side-striped skink ran past, and as it ran past me on the right-hand side, from the left, out of nowhere, came a western striped-bellied sand snake, and came with much gusto and grabbed the skink by the tail, got it on the tail. Now, those of you who don't know this snake, it's a beautiful snake. It's got this beautiful stripe, as you would imagine, down the side of its body. Hence stripe-bellied sand snake. And it's decided to kind of grab this little skink. And the poor skink writhed and struggled, and the snake had it just by the tip of the tail. It's actually quite funny to see, because this skink was stretched out dead straight like this, and then the snake had it by its tail and was pulling it, and it was, poor little skink was trying to get away. But it looked like something out of a sort of comic rather than a nature sort of thing. And so anyway, I sat there and I thought to myself, well, this is quite interesting. And then I shouted at everybody to look. I was like, guys, look, this is a snake just caught a skink. This is amazing. So Emma's saying this is a lot more dramatic than Jamie's retelling, but if you're going to do it, you might as well do it properly. And so I shouted at everybody, which was my fatal error, because had I not shouted, nobody would have noticed what was going on. Anyway, no sooner have I shouted at everybody, and everybody is now turned to face what's going on, to look at said snake. Does the lizard somehow free itself and slip its little tail through the jaws of this snake, and it came running along straight towards my foot, and actually went up onto my shoelaces, and I was wearing these very shoes, and actually pants just like this. So it came over my foot like this and onto my laces, and from there it was looking up my pants. It was looking like into that area, and I was like, this is not going to end well, because behind it came charging the snake for round 2. And so what there was going to be very quickly was going to be a lizard, which I envisioned in my mind, even though this happened so fast, time stands still, and I envisioned I was going to get a lizard going up my pants followed by a snake, which was going to be very awkward to deal with. And so one had to flick one's foot, and so basically I just kind of flicked like this, and the lizard went doop and landed there. The snake then went over my shoe towards the lizard, but then the lizard turned and came back towards me and Jimmy, and so then I had to jump into the air, and then the snake came around. Seb, stop laughing evilly. So I jumped, and I'm trying to kind of sort of hot-footed out of there. So is Jimmy, and the snake and the lizard are having a fun time running around at our feet. And eventually then the lizard went one way and the snake went the other way in the panic that was going on. Now everybody thinks that these things happen slowly, but this snake, these striped-bellied sand snakes, are the fastest snake over land that we have out here, and they are seriously quick. It's amazing how fast they go. And of course there was fits of laughter as Jamie and the rest all thought this was absolutely hilarious. And that's the story. So I don't think it really can be recreated. It was one of those moments that was probably never happen again, but I hope not, at least. And at least I was also saying, at least it wasn't like a black mamba. Can you imagine the panic that there would have been if the mamba had gone over my foot and towards my trousers? That would have been awkward.